Pre-recorded live from Little Rock, Arkansas. It's the Derek Luna Show. This week, an interview with Dan Fritsche. Plus, 10 bad questions. But now, Bill Clinton started here, and he made it all the way to Epstein's Island. It's Derek Luna. That's correct. I'm here at the world-famous Looney Bin in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're doing, this is our Saturday show. It is the last couple shows of the week. We're excited. We've been having a good time hanging out in the old comedy condo, like a weird comedy family. And so, yeah, it's been a fun week. I got a chance to talk to Dan Fritsche, who works for the World Series of Comedy, kind of a jack of all trades. He's doing video work, he's doing merchandise, doing a lot of stuff for this festival and a couple other festivals. We got a chance to sit down and talk about that. Great dude, fun interview. Check it out. Next week, we are actually going to still be here in Little Rock, guys. It's not as bad as it sounds. But we're going to be here next week for some recording shows for Sirius XM satellite radio. So, yeah, there'll be more next week from right here at the Looney Bin, possibly at the condo. So, check it out. Check out this interview with Dan Fritsche. Thanks for checking it out. Like and subscribe, you fools. Oh, turds, Dan Fritsche. Oh, here, hold this for a second. That's the way the pros do it, bud.
Yep.
I'm here with Dan Fritsche.
Hi.
From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sometimes I say Oklahoma City, and that's not accurate.
Well, Andrew got it wrong last night. He introduced me as...
Yeah. Tulsa, though.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City's smaller brother. Do they have smaller brother disease like St. Louis does with Chicago, like Boston with New York?
We're practically the same size at this point.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
After Timothy McVeigh took him down a
we
took him down a peg.
The odds on one day, yeah.
We've been doing this. This is 1 minute in, and I already snuck Timothy McVeigh references in.
Yeah, we are.
Gosh,
the comment section's going to be great.
We're crushing it so far.
Yep.
So we're here in Little Rock.
Yep.
Doing shows at the Looney Bin. It's our last World Series of Comedy satellite for the year. The Looney Bin, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Wayne, wonderful man.
This was my first club that I worked. It was my first out of town gig as a comic. I think it was like 16 years ago. Yeah, my parents were living in Little Rock at the time, and I was house sitting for them, and I decided to just call up Jeff, the owner. I was like, hey, I'm coming in for the week, and can I get like a MC week? And he said, sure.
There you go.
You know, I've been working for this club for 16 years. Yeah.
Off and on, you just guest spotting in here and there. Yep.
Yeah, I got family down here, so sometimes I'll come down to visit them and go inside a...
That's dope. I do like coming down to Little Rock. It's a fun town.
Yeah.
And it's only 4 hours away from me. How far from you?
4 on the dot, actually. I can get from my house to this condo in 4 hours flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. It's been good having you around this week. Dan used to host for the World Series.
2017, 2018.
You go way back with the World Series.
Back.
Tell me about all that.
Well, actually, I think it was like I think it would have been 2010 that the World Series was doing Wichita was a satellite. And I signed up for it. I got in, and I actually got to the semifinal round. And at that time, God, I was probably only about like a year and a half in.
Yeah.
But I got into the semifinals on a technicality because Joe's computer crashed while they were tabulating the scores, and they were just kind of having to scramble and count.
They just picked you random.
Because back then he didn't have it. He didn't have it automated with the Zippy vote.
This is what he was telling us, that he used to do paper ballots.
He had paper ballots, and they had to recount it by hand real quick, and then it came down to a 2-way tie for second for that show. So I got to advance for that. And I had come in, I was flat broke at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't have money for a hotel, so I asked the manager there if I could, because I'd already hosted at Wichita.
Yeah.
So like, is anybody staying at the condo? He said, nobody's staying at the condos. Can I? And he allowed me to. And I had like $20 to my name. I had enough money to put gas in the tank to drive home after losing, but it's like I had to stay the night. And I went in there, and all I had to eat was what was left in the kitchen.
Oh man, this would be a fun episode to make a meal out of what's left in the condo.
Here's what was in the fridge. There were 2 6-point Budweisers.
You're off to a great start.
Oh yeah, there was a 5-hour energy shot, a half a pound of deli turkey with no expiration date. So I was eating that on faith.
You got your protein in there.
And there was like a half a loaf of white bread.
Yeah.
And then there was like some coffee. So
probably some condiment packets.
That was my diet for 24 hours leading up to it.
Yeah.
And I was going up first. And the guy who was going up second was Landry, who took the whole thing that year.
Yeah.
He won the main event that year. And I'd seen him perform. He was on my show. He took first on my show. So I was like, oh, he's so high energy. I thought I got to bring the energy.
Yeah.
And so
you were just, because you said what, a year and a half in?
Probably.
Yeah, you don't know that that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that was a horrible idea. So I was trying to do my material, but with more energy. But all I had in the tank was a 5-hour energy shot. And two
6-point Budweisers.
Well, I drank the 2 6-point Budweisers the night before, but and then like a highly questionable turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
So that's why you're blaming that on not losing.
Yes, I tanked so fucking hard on that, but I got to beat Joe and Brad that night, and then it was a couple of years later. World Series came through the Looney Bin in Tulsa, and at that time I was assistant manager there. I was the showroom manager, and I impressed Joe on how I ran the showroom. And like at that time I pre-recorded the intro for each show, so I had it all timed out and everything, and all I had to do was hit play and the show started.
Yeah, you were on top of that whole room.
Yeah, and like I hit play on the first night, and then walked outside the sound booth, and Joe's like, how are you? I was like, I pre-recorded it. And then I got into the main event that year, and it was right after I got married, and my wife came with me. That was our honeymoon.
She's still with you.
Yeah. and we decided we walked past the showroom. Like one night we were about to go out to eat, and we walked past there, and it was like they had one guy seating, and he was out. He was out of his mind. Just go. I don't know what to do. So I just said, "Baby, you want to help volunteer and seat for the show?" So we helped out with seating and all that. Oh yeah. And
you're filling out a job application.
Yeah,
right
and
then,
it just
basically.
like that one thing led to another. Next year, Joe brought me back to the main event. And had me run the sound booth. And then a couple of years later, I was so you need a host, and yeah, and then I co-hosted for the first couple of satellites with Andrew. And then Andrew decided to leave, and then Joe asked me, "Can you handle this all by yourself?" Yeah, I think I can.
This is reminding me of my personal tale with the World Series as well. Yeah. Well, same kind of trajectory.
But it was rough.
And now you're the master of Google Sheets.
Yeah.
And you, as well as, you do a ton of stuff for the festival, but it's more remote, right?
Yeah.
You do some judging. You handle all of the merch.
I handle all the merch, and I'm the video submissions coordinator, so I coordinate with all the comics getting their videos.
Dan sends me very polite. He's very patient when I gripe at him about doing videos. He's I know, but
I understand. It's a slog. But
you've heard me do extraneous bitching too much, where afterwards I'm like, well, Dan didn't deserve me to be bitchy about this. He's just delivering the news, basically.
Watching the videos is the one thing that makes me miss smoking. Like I quit smoking a year and a half ago.
It's a pretty good smoke break.
Yeah, it's just like I would watch. Like if it was a particularly bad video, I'd have to go out and have a smoke and just clear my head.
Yeah.
And now I've had to find new ways to clear my head.
It's just so many videos submitted for the festival, so
Yes.
it is a big slog. It's a lot easier than it would be if we didn't have the systems that you've put together on Google Sheets to help organize it and help maintain the whole thing.
Well, after the first couple of years of doing the video judging, just as the host, and seeing how Joe had set it up, Joe had it all set up, and I started to learn how Google Sheets worked, and I was like, there has to be ways to make this more efficient.
Yeah.
And just by virtue of that, I started just learning how to do Google Sheets more and more, and now I can.
They're really impressive. The stuff that I just do the easy ones like the check-in documents and things that don't really have a ton of stuff. There's like a master one that controls all of them, and they're all connected to websites and orders.
There are ways that we could make this whole thing. I know there are ways to make this like 1,000 times more efficient, like the confirming the comics and
than even what we're doing now,
and assigning them, and we could link those directly to the check-in sheets if we needed to.
Sure.
It's got a lot of work, and do I want to do it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I know there's a way.
And there's also that's a change, which requires kind of getting everybody on the team on board with it. So change is slow, but
well, it's like I had to fight a little bit to get control of how to do the masters and the judges spreadsheets, and but
it's crazy. I've learned a ton. I didn't even know this was possible. I've learned a ton just messing with the sheets that you've made, where it's just like, well, I don't even know this could do this. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So you're out of Tulsa. Tell me about the Tulsa scene.
Tulsa is very interesting.
You were bitching about it a little bit. Tulsa scene, he was bitching about you.
Yeah, it
was mild.
It's fun. It's like in a lot of ways. I mean, it's like any other comedy scene in the country. It's high school with better weed.
That's a good way to put it.
But like Tulsa's just in this weird phase right now because we have 2.5 comedy clubs. Well, technically 2 comedy clubs and 2 half comedy clubs.
I think it's in that mid-size where it's just perfect to have some weird stuff going on, a little bit of drama, some bullshit going on.
Well, but also it's just like the breakdown is we have the Looney Bin, which has been there since 2007.
Yeah, I've been to that Looney Bin.
Yeah. And it's under new ownership now, and they're doing great. Mason, the owner, is incredible. I love that guy to death. He's doing wonderful things with the club. We've got Bricktown, which is Bark Entertainment Club. They're doing great. I love that club. But then we also have a guy that owns a movie theater in Broken Arrow, and he's kind of converted one of the screens into a comedy club. And
it's still functioning as a movie theater.
It's still functioning. Yeah, it's still got like a couple of screens with just doing running movies.
Wild.
But then they have one room that's kind of set up to be. I mean, it's got tables, and you still got the screen and a projector and all this. So you could still operate as a movie theater, but
they still show movies while you're doing comedy.
I've done a few shows there, and I think the grand total of people I've performed for there was like 60 people. It's just like the turnout was just so bad. It's like, really, we're doing this for struggling. 6 people. But they're just also the guy who owns it just kind of doesn't know how to like book real comics, and but then there's like the Tulsa Comedy Club, which is they took like an 8-screen. It used to be the Dollar Theater in Tulsa. And they took down some of the walls between the theaters, so they got one room, big room that is the comedy room, and then across the hall they've got 3 of those theater-sized rooms together, and that's like their Latin dance club. So they do like Latin.
Oh, so this guy's just doing everything.
Yeah,
try to keep the doors
it's really
open.
a Latin dance club that does comedy shows a couple of times a month.
Yeah,
and
you don't count that as a club. And God bless them for doing comedy, but
they're working on it. Yeah,
they're getting there.
It's but it is really weird to perform comedy in the same room where I watched Starship Troopers back in 1997. So like I lost my temper at a guy at a showing of Contact right where I'm performing.
That's funny. So what else is going on? I'm trying to think.
Well, it just we got a
And the Blue Whale Festival.
Blue Whale Festival's coming.
Happens in Tulsa.
That's going to be August 14th through the 17th. That's going to be a really fun week. I mean, we got David Cross, Hannibal Buress, Dulce Sloan, a bunch of other headliners.
And you sneak that in right before the World Series Finals. Are you going out to Vegas?
TBD.
TBD.
We're going to figure out if we can spin it this year.
Yeah.
Because we also found out we have to redo the roof on our house. And that's going to be like $13,000. It's going. I don't know if I could spin Vegas right now. But no, but Blue Whale's going to be interesting because it's like the final day, the Sunday. They're just doing like a brunch, but that's on my birthday.
Yeah.
And it's not only my birthday; it's also going to be Rick Shaw, this other guy that's on the Blue Whale committee. So it's going to be like a dual birthday party brunch thing. It's going to be fun.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, I've never done the Blue Whale. I think I've submitted to it a few times, way back in the day. But
yeah, I've been on the committee. This is the third year now.
Yeah,
and really just kind of doing the same thing I've been doing with the World Series, handling all the video submissions and
sure. Once you know how to do this stuff, you become more valuable to anybody who's trying to.
Yeah, and it's just like
I'm.
It's interesting. I get to test out. Doing this 2 festivals, I come up with ideas for the other festival while working on one.
Sure,
it's like,
yeah.
Oh, we could do this, and just I'm all about making things as efficient as possible.
Yeah. Do they use those local clubs? Do they use that Blue Whale Festival as a chance to sort of see some new talent, or is it?
Not necessarily. The Looney Bin was kind of not interested for the longest time. We're trying to get them and Bricktown more involved, getting the managers some VIP passes so they can come see all the shows and and
sort of embrace it.
Yeah.
Clubs sometimes slow to change on stuff. So. Did we cover everything? I think we covered most stuff.
I think we covered everything.
Just a loose overview of who Dan is, what kind of man Dan is, what kind of brain is working behind. I don't know what else I'm talking about, but you agreed to play 10 bad questions.
Okay.
You loosely agreed.
Tentatively, yes.
I think I said, we're going to play 10 bad questions, and you were like, what's that?
And you never answered.
And I never answered.
All right, lay it on me.
So we kind of do these rapid fire, but if you want to chill and talk on one for a while,
okay,
feel free. You ever seen the old McLaughlin group?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Wrong. Dan Fritsche. So yeah, that was kind of my idea, but it never really works out that way.
Okay.
First of all, Dan Fritsche, where do we find you online? This does count as question
on
one.
Social media. I got rid of my Twitter account, but I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Fritsche Comic, FRITSCHIE Comic.
Look him up.
Yep.
Find him.
Yep.
Ask him to tell you jokes, and maybe make you a Google spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I also run stand-up I help run standupmerch.com.
Yes, so, I need to talk to you about my stand-up merch.
Yeah.
It's a lacking.
Yeah.
Question 2. If you were king of the world, what's one fun thing that you would force everyone to do? Mandatory.
What mandatory fun?
Yeah. Which fun, it's never fun if it's mandatory. But
I don't know, I guess free weed for everybody.
Free weed for everybody?
Yeah.
See, that would be fun for a lot of
people that it would need to be mandatory.
Yeah.
The real Bill Hicks just shut up and smoke that.
Yeah. Some people would fight it.
Yeah.
But they'd be better in the long run, probably.
Yeah, but now we could sneak it into their food. It's real easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're like, creams and salves.
We could we just get a super soaker full of the tincture and just shove from across the room.
Mandatory marijuana. I wouldn't have expected you to.
Well, actually,
to be pro-pot,
you know what I bring back? Tranquilizer darts.
So what? You just had to get tranked once a day?
No. It's just like if you start to take things a little bit too seriously, we just
legal tranquilizer darts just for what? Law enforcement or just responsible people? Like you took a test that you could handle it?
Yeah. Concealed carry tranquilizer darts. That would be great.
Okay. Question 3. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
I'm sorry. That's not the correct answer. Everybody picks mint chocolate chip. It's Rocky Road. Question 4. If you were a time-traveling tourist, what time period would you go to just to hang out for a while?
Actually, I had a bit about...
Black people always pick the future, by the way.
Yeah.
They've never not picked the future.
Well,
Joe liked that one.
Well, the funny is,
it's true. It's just what's happened, and I should have thought of that before I answered the question.
I had a whole bit about time travel where I talk about if you wanted to change the past, you can't just like go back and kill Hitler. It's just too abrupt. That would cost too much. Like what I would do. You got to be subtle about it. I would go back to, I think it was November 21st, 1993. That is the opening day of a little movie called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Okay.
And I'd keep going back. I'd keep going back and just give me more time on that day because I would go to every screening of that movie. I would sit there quietly until the 23-minute mark when Donald Trump makes his appearance in that movie. And then I would just jump out of my chair and just go, please don't make that man president. And I'd run out of the theater screaming my head off.
Would that work?
No. But it might. It's like I wouldn't be affecting the timeline too much, but it's like,
you're talking subliminally.
22 years later when he announced that he was running for president, everybody who was in the theater that day would be going like, wait a fucking minute. I think somebody tried to warn us about this.
That is subtle.
Just very subtle.
Then you're spending your whole life, Dan, just watching Home Alone 2 and waiting for this moment in the movie.
Yeah.
That's a wild life to live, but hey, you're a man of ideals.
I'd go through that PTSD just to help the timeline.
Question 5. What's your favorite performance space? Two-parter. Favorite space you've performed in, and then favorite like a bucket list space that you haven't been to yet that you're like, man, someday.
I don't really have like a bucket list place that I'd want to perform because I've been in the business long enough to know the drawbacks of each venue. Like I don't want to do an arena show because arenas aren't built for comedy.
Yeah, right.
Like you hear laughter that's delayed from the back of the room. There's just so many logistical issues I have with that. But the best stage I performed at was actually 3 years ago at Blue Whale Comedy Festival on Kane's Ballroom stage. It's a historic ballroom. Sex Pistols performed there. I've seen so many. They have there in the office there. They have this little piece of drywall that Sid Vicious had put his fist through.
Oh, that's cool.
And in the back, behind the, in the hallway behind the stage, and going into the green room, and in the green room itself, people just signed the walls.
Yeah.
So I got to sign my name on the wall, the same wall that had like U2 back when they performed in the early '80s. Like I saw Elvis Costello there 3 times. I've seen his signature. I've tried to put mine name next to his, but there was just no space.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But and kind of personal for you too, because you've seen so many things there.
But living there in Tulsa, and it's this historic place, is like I wanted to perform there for so long, and my wife got to perform there before I did. Yeah, my wife used to be a burlesque dancer, and her burlesque troupe did a number at Kane. So it's like, so my wife and I, both of our names are on the wall.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Question 6.
Okay.
What's the most annoying thing?
When somebody is trying to troll me, but it's like I can't tell if they're kidding or not, and they're waiting for me to laugh before they determine if there's that weird kind of that their voice kind of
poke a little.
Yeah, that I hate it when people do that.
Yeah, is that the same as gaslighting? People use that term a lot. I don't know what that is.
It's kind of, but it's like, I just miss the days where trolling meant making the other person look like an asshole.
Yeah.
not make yourself look like an asshole.
The good old days.
The good old days.
Question 7, snakes or spiders?
Snakes.
That is correct.
I've been terrified of spiders kind of my whole life.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Question 8, 5 movies, desert island. You're going to a desert island. What 5 movies?
Blade Runner, Final Cut.
Correct.
I'd say Empire Strikes Back, but I don't know. I've kind of gotten over Star Wars. Jaws would be one. There's a movie that it's in heavy rotation with me, and it's called Strange Days. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's from 1995. It has Ray Fiennes and Angela Bassett, and it takes place. It was made in 1990 or released in 1995, but it takes place on New Year's Eve, 1999.
Oh, wild.
And it's co-written by James Cameron, directed by Catherine Bigelow. It's a very stylish movie.
I have heard of this movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird to some of the things haven't really aged well because they were predicting 5 years in the future.
Yeah.
And now it's,
I'm sure James
now
Cameron.
it's 25 years in the past, but I've always loved that movie. It's got this amazing soundtrack, this mid 90s techno soundtrack. It's
Cool.
It's incredible. That's
3.
3.
Sometimes people pick Castaway, which I think is a weird.
That's not a desert island.
Why would you
movie.
want to
Well, it's
watch
a desert island movie.
Why would you
but I
want to
wouldn't-
watch the thing that you're living currently?
Before Sunrise, Richard Linklater.
Good movie.
loved it. And I guess I'd have to narrow it down to which episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 I'd like to have on there.
Okay.
Maybe Mitchell.
Bonus points for not saying Shawshank Redemption. Good on you. Yeah. Question 9, favorite gas station / truck stop. This is a question for the road dogs. But you've been out there. You've been about.
There is
About
one.
town a
There's
little
one
bit.
on I-40. Just as well, it depends on which direction, but it's just right on the outskirts of Albuquerque. There's like a casino there, but then there's
You're talking about Native American lands, aren't you?
Well, no, I just mean it's like whenever I would be driving from, like, anytime I would drive from Tulsa to Vegas, this was the midway point.
Oh, okay.
But I'd also stop there because there was also.
Sorry.
Did that pause your?
I did. It shut my recording off.
That's it.
Odd.
But no, this place it had this truck stop. It had.
What was the name of it?
I can't even remember.
You're talking a specific one. I was just looking for a chain. You're like, it's this one.
No. It was just like
coordinates.
whenever I'd be driving from Tulsa to Vegas or something like that. There's one place I would always stop. It'd be a great place. It had a nice parking lot to. If I needed to take a nap, I could just stretch out in the car. But it had like a little mini casino in one side
They
of
all
it,
do in New
and it had like a
Mexico.
couple of restaurants in it, and the.
I thought you were just going to say like one of the Native American ones on the reservation. They have these in California where gas is like $23 a gallon. And then you come to a Native American gas station on reservation lands and it's like reasonably priced all of a sudden. But there's only like 3 or 4 of those in the whole state.
But if we're talking chains, I kind of have an affinity for Loves.
I'm a Loves man.
Yeah.
I'm a Loves man myself.
Just whenever they have like the chicken joint, the Chester, I think it's Chester's chicken in there. Just the
Yeah, they always got something.
Yeah, I always have to get one of those like fried chicken sandwiches. They're just
I'm a double legs man.
okay.
Give me a set of legs.
All right,
Let me walk on out of this door.
thigh man myself, but yeah, game recognizes game.
Question 10, last question.
Okay.
We get sentimental on this one. You're allowed to.
Okay.
I'll make fun of you a little bit. What's your favorite thing about comedy?
I don't know. I like it when I see an audience filing out after the show and they're all just go like, "We made a good choice. This is a good call." Like, yeah,
Yeah, because it's a roll of the dice a little bit.
And even very rarely have I seen an audience file out and didn't have at least one person that was just going,
Yeah.
You know, I've had some shit shows, but at least they had like one person just going like,
isn't that weird?
I had a good
too,
time. I
that
had a
like
really good
the
time.
comedians could unanimously be like, "This was a bad show and it was terrible," but then like there's always 2 or 3 people in the audience who are like, "That was great."
And I'm always my own worst critic, and it's like even if I feel like I tanked, like I try to record every show or at least make sure that there's video of each show.
Yeah.
And when I go back and watch it, even if I felt like I did bad, I force myself to go back and watch it, and I was going like, okay, I didn't do that bad.
I think that's most comics. We're going to be harder on ourselves than an audience even would be.
Yeah.
The people. That's a unanimous answer.
But I would have that, I'd get that dread anytime I did, like most of the time when I was doing World Series shows.
Oh, yeah.
But it was because I was hosting, and it was like I wasn't the show.
Really?
I was a part of the show. It was like I would go back and I go like, I hosted very well. My jokes. But it was also I was going up first. I was the one warming up the crowd.
Yeah. That's a responsibility. I take it seriously.
Yeah,
because the other comics can have a bad show if you don't do it right.
And so many comics I notice that don't understand the difference between being a comic and being a host. Yeah, a host is like a different skill set.
They're almost completely different jobs.
Yeah, your comedy comes second to hosting.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You have to keep the audience. Like stay with me. You have to get them. You do that. The 3 applause breaks. I saw you doing that the other night. Yeah, as they gotta get them conditioned to follow your commands and
talk just enough so they can cast their zippy vote, and then when they see some eyeballs, it takes a while to even get decent at it. I think. Yeah, and it's interesting because especially at clubs, and it's one of the first jobs you get. It's one of the hardest ones. They're like, well, we'll let you host. And one thing, it's like, no, that's actually a wrong idea. Like, it should be a more veteran guy, usually, I think, or lady.
One thing I've noticed is that's been happening a lot with the World Series shows, particularly like this year, as opposed to the 2 years I was there. I haven't seen you or any of the other hosts have to do time in between the comics. In the case one comic shits the bed so hard that you have to kind of reset their mood. Like I haven't had to see that, and I think that's a testament to the crowds and the comics that we've had on there. There's like everybody's been kind of on their A game.
Yeah, I mean I've done it a handful of times.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, I've had a handful of times where you have to do that, but that's just part of hosting. Yeah. And I never try to let it get more than just a couple lines. I'm not going to be like, all right, I'm going to bust off and do a 3-minute bit. Yeah. That's too much. Yeah. Well, hey, man, it's good hanging with you here at Little Rock. You're not around next week? Are you're taking off for next week?
Next week, I'm just back home dealing with home stuff.
We're here 2 whole weeks doing recording shows next week, so Little Rock's my home. For a minute. Yeah. We all make mistakes. Yeah. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, brother.
On the pod. And yeah. We'll see you here. I mean, as soon as we stop doing this, I'm still going to see you. So. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, guys.
So there it is, and there it was. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Derek Looney Show from right here at the Looney Bin. We got these idiots hanging out. This is Mr. Bill Hours. Ira Summers back there, David Kalsgaard. We're all having fun. Thanks for checking out this episode. Check us out next week where we will be still here in Little Rock. Later, guys.